Hey, what's going on? My name is Jack Lane. Welcome back to a brand new video here at the channel. Today we are going to be talking about Robert Downey Jr.'s potential return to the MCU. And it's not in a way that people would expect it to happen. This article is from Screen Rant, and a link to that will be in the description below. So let's just dive on into the article and see what it's talking about. Okay, Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom rumor is the only way I can see the star coming back to the MCU. This was released by Ollie Bradley, and it goes on to say, certain Doctor Doom rumors suggest that Robert Downey Jr. might come back to the MCU, and it's the only way I can see it happening. Robert Downey Jr. is one of the MCU's most recognizable and central figures, starring as Tony Stark in 10 movies, as a prime example of how competent Marvel is with its casting decisions. Iron Man's iconic tenure was brought to a close in Avengers Endgame in one of the MCU's most heartbreaking deaths, as Tony Stark proved capable of making the ultimate sacrifice for the sake of others. Since his departure, the MCU timeline has hit several stumbling blocks. Tony Stark's death brought an end to the Infinity Saga, and with the birth of the multiverse saga came a downturn in overall enthusiasm outside the movies of the MCU. Veterans like Thor, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man. Consequently, rumors have circulated that Marvel is considering bringing back RDJ back into the fold to capitalize on his star power once more. These recently culminated in the suggestion that he might return in upcoming Marvel movies, but not as Iron Man, which may well be the most viable way for him to return. Bringing Robert Downey Jr. back as Doctor Doom matches with RDJ and Kevin Feige's Iron Man return rules. Within the context of the multiverse, RDJ could return as Iron Man variant from another universe, seemingly at any time, particularly within Avengers Secret Wars, but that would feel somewhat contrived in the wake of his game-changing sacrifice. Despite the rumour mill for several years, both Robert Downey Jr. and Marvel boss Kevin Feige have stressed significant stipulations, namely the two would only be reintroduced, RDJ/Iron Man, if there was an inarguable cause to do so within the current MCU narrative, within the context of the multiverse. RDJ could return as an Iron Man variant from another universe seemingly at any time, particularly within the story of Avengers Secret Wars, but that would feel somewhat contrived in the wake of his game-changing sacrifice. It's just rehashing what has already been said, but it does put out a big point. Do we really want him to return? Do we really want his Iron Man sacrifice to be for nothing? No. With that in mind, new rumours now suggest that RDJ and his star power may return as Doctor Doom. This falls neatly within the parameters set by Kevin Feige, and RDJ as Doctor Doom is at this point inevitable, not to mention a brand new MCU character completely different to Iron Man. Except for their intelligence, perhaps. Robert Downey Jr. has proven recently that he is more than capable of handling the gravitas needed to portray Doctor Doom, and Tony Stark returning to the MCU in this guise would deliver an interesting turn of events. A Doctor Doom's return would avoid undoing the impact of Iron Man's MCU story. The MCU needs to tread exceptionally lightly around a possible RDJ return. Iron Man's legacy is unassailable following his iconic exit with a snap of his fingers and a tragic farewell to the loved ones he saved. Bringing Iron Man back as a variant, which the multiverse saga has established, can be identical copies of original, in which, in both appearance and personality, would tarnish the impact of Tony Stark's selfless final moments, which flew in the face of his arrogance in his early MCU appearances. Doctor Doom may debut in the MCU in Fantastic Four due to his association with the titular team. Bringing the actor back as a variant that assumes the mantle of Doctor Doom would sidestep this risk. Instead of returning as the heroic Tony Stark, whose story was defined by his aversion to weapons, manufacturing and maintaining power over the world, returning as a version of Doctor Doom would flip the script. It would provide the best of both worlds as Tony Stark's return to the MCU, but in a guise that highlights the heroism of Earth's 616's Stark without directly interfering with his initial arc. Robert Downey Jr. return to the MCU as Doctor Doom would be a perfect multi-saga payoff. Despite instances in self-aggrandization and more morally grey compass than his fellow Avengers leader, Captain America, there is no question of Tony Stark's heroism. His attempts to protect the world may have at times been misguided, but they came from a place of virtue rather than self-service. While Doom is far from purely villainous, his arrogance exceeds that of Stark's, and his megalanium could be further removed from Stark's own MO by debuting Doom as a Stark variant. The original Stark's virtues would be strengthened as a result. It would also feel poetic to have the multiverse saga ending with Stark's pivotal involvement once more, provided Avengers Secret Wars intends to adapt its comic book namesake. Then Doom may be responsible for saving the universe, much like Stark did in Avengers Endgame, only this time he'd be doing so with his own power grab at the forefront of his mind. Either way, if the rumours are to be believed, this is the only way I can see Stark returning to the MCU without diminishing his legacy. The article then ends, and to be honest, I'm all for it. I'm all for Robert Downey Jr. returning in this way. Him returning of Iron Man, out of the question. I think it would ruin Endgame. Because you can't kill him off twice. And is he really gonna leave at the end of it? Probably not. Because what we found with Multiverse is that they're two different types of people. Okay? You have the Tony Stark of 616, where he sacrificed himself to save his loved ones. And you possibly would have this variant who's lost his wife and his daughter, and he would want to stay with them because they're exactly the same people. You know, that's kind of my point. So, Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom rumour, I think it's interesting. Is it true? We'll find out this weekend, I think. And why is this rumour coming about now? Disney leak. I'm expecting that something's leaked and it's a rumour and it's currently going around the rumour mill because no one knows. I'm assuming a lot of the stuff that's coming out at the moment for MCU, mind you, is to do with the Disney leak because it's the only way forward is to just start doing rumours. Oh yeah, no, this is a rumour, this is a rumour. We're not going to debunk anything until Comic-Con. But Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom rumour, it's interesting. It's very fun as well. It's a very fun and interesting idea. Because wouldn't it be great, right, if Spider-Man 4 releases before Secret Wars, right? And let's just say, Spider-Man has this moment where he has to, maybe he comes across Doctor Doom towards the end of his film. Maybe it's in one of them end credit scenes. He comes across Doctor Doom. Doom takes off his mask, and a bit like how at the beginning of Avengers Infinity War, where Thor was being beaten to death by Thanos, you could have Spider-Man running to Tony, being like, "Oh my God, you're back!" Thinking it's an Iron Man variant suit. Doom grabs him, throws him to the ground, and goes, "I don't know who you are, but I'm not who you think I am," or something like that. And it could go off on this tangent of Peter Parker being really scared because the man he loved, his mentor, the man he looked at for an uncle/father figure, is seemingly not the same man that he remembers, although he has the same face. Of course, they kind of played on that idea with Spider-Man Far From Home, with Jake Gyllenhaal's character, with the glasses, and they'd be like, "Oh, you look a bit alike to Tony Stark," and they sort of did that story, and I feel like that would be, if they try to do that again with Doom, would it work? 100%. He has the exact same face. It's the exact same guy playing the character. They'd be quite interesting to see how other Avengers would react, knowing that he's the bad guy, but also being like, is there good in him? Because he is technically Stark. He looks like Tony Stark. Is there good in him? Who knows? It will be interesting to see what they end up doing. It'll be interesting to see what gets announced and confirmed. I really hope this rumor's true, just because of the fact that if this rumor's true, we can potentially get a big payoff for Secret Wars. Like I said, if it ends like the comics ends, we could have Robert Downey Jr. closing both sagas up. Why not? Why not see what we can do, and why not see whether we can get Robert back for this final chapter in the Multiverse Saga? And I think that's what Marvel's intentions are. They're going to try and see whether they can get him back. I mean, they've probably secured the deal now. Very well kept secret. And I really hope this happens. Really hope this happens. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys want Robert Downey Jr. to return as Doctor Doom? Do you potentially want him to return as Iron Man? Do you think it won't diminish what Infinity War and Endgame did with the character and, Endgame's sacrifice? Do you think that this is all rumour, it's never going to happen? Or are you like me and you just want to see a great Avengers movie again where, why not make him the villain? Because it'd be such a gut-wrenching thing for fans as well. It would have that emotional payoff once again, but in a different way, I feel. So who knows? Who knows where they're going with this? But with that being said, like I said, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. It really does help me out. And, share the video around, please. I want to try and grow this place, grow the channel a bit. And I just want to, keep talking to you guys about current movies and current states of affairs with upcoming films. This video is actually now going to be coming first on my original lineup. I had it as like second, or I had 2 other videos that were going to come out. But now this is they're going to be pushed back. This is coming out first. I'm very excited for everybody to see this video. And I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye for now.